You know, people are talking about legislation to unmask these violent Hamas demonstrators on college campuses. They want to shield themselves. They do all kinds of damage, violate the law, violate property, but there's legislation will take time before it gets enacted. And even then, it's no full sure way of getting things done. However, our guest has found a way, technology, to unmask those that are demonstrating using technology. Eliyah Hawila joins us. He's the founder of a company called Stellar Technologies. But Eliyah is one of our favorite guests. We've had him on over the years. We had dubbed him the Lebanese Choson. He ended up marrying a Syrian young lady. There was a question, was he Jewish? And he wasn't. Then he discovered he was Jewish, and he's committed to our people, to Israel. And now he's come up with this innovative technology to help unmask Hamas, really agitators and protesters. So welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Zev. Thank you for this amazing intro, and I'm glad to be here again.
I know you work computers even in Lebanon, and now you have this new technology. So tell us about this technology, because not only could it unmask and see behind the face, behind the mask, but it also can find the voice and identify voices as well.
Yes. So right now, the system as it is, it's being active. It has two ways of search. Well, two active functionalities that are out of the box, ready to use right now. Ready to use as a feature, but at a scale it's not, and I'll explain how. Facial recognition, uploading a face, whether masked or unmasked, and then it being searched across this large face index, which is co-joined with a database that contains the metadata about all the collected faces and photos from the web. And then you find with very, very high accuracy the matching faces to the face that you're querying or searching. So that's face search. And then the second part is face comparison, or what you would call a face verification, in which you can upload two images of two faces and then get a matching score between them to tell you if it's the same person or not the same person, also with very high accuracy. So this is ready out of the box, but what I'm working on developing right now, and I have the two business partners, one of them lives in Israel. We're working on a full solution for a full surveillance tool, meaning it's AI powered, of course. So when you have footage like photos and videos and audio streams, how do you make the most meaning out of them? You can't just rely on facial recognition, because in order to, like, if you're trying to find evidence on someone through hours and hours of video footage, you're not just going to find all the instances of the face matching every frame and then go through the audio by yourself. It doesn't work this way. And plus, you might miss out on something they said, or who said what, or whose voice is happening in the video. So this full solution gives you the ability to not only query footage through faces, but if you have a small snippet of a certain person's voice, you can upload it as a little audio recording and then search it with very high speed through thousands of hours of footage, and then get the intervals in every video and every audio recording that you uploaded that where it's matching his voice. And then you can do mixed searches, in which you can mix the picture with the voice and then refine the search even further. And then the speech itself that is being said by that person during those detected intervals gets transcribed into text. And then over the span of multiple videos gets analyzed by a large language model to infer whether this person is committing something suspicious, such as support for a US designated terrorist organization, which is basically the active case for the system right now. But for the future, we're trying to cover more than just cases related to pro-Hamas anarchy or civil unrest or support of US designated terrorist organizations. No, we're going after sex trafficking cartels, child trafficking cartels, etc., try a full surveillance tool to combat all types of crime. But right now, the starting point is counterterrorism. So yeah, this is where we stand right now. And about the search results that you get, you'll be capable of forwarding them into a chatbot, and then that chatbot, you select exactly which search results you want to forward to that chatbot, and it's within this, it's within the same user interface. And then as you're sitting down looking at those results, the chatbot is looking at them with you, and then you start speaking to the chatbot using conversational language. And then it understands this, it is trained to understand these specific investigative scenarios to help you know whether the footage that you found contains anything incriminating. And with very high speed, it looks at the results of the facial recognition, the results of the voice recognition, and the results of the transcribed speech. It gives you sentiment. It gives you whether the exact laws that the person violated, the exact analysis of their behavior, their impulse, their estimated emotions, the probability of them committing a certain crime, engaging in acts of violence, etc. So all AI based, but I mean, depends on the final review of the actual investigator. But it's an extremely powerful, not just surveillance tool, but investigative assistant.
It's amazing. And I think one of the papers reported that the case of Mohammed Khalil has been assisted by this technology as well. So it's certainly cutting edge and it's new. So let me ask you this. In other words, if I have a picture of somebody who I suspect of being a terrorist, whether it's Hamas or involved in drugs, I feed this picture into the system, and you scan the whole internet to find if there's any resemblances or any matches. Is that how it works?
No, that's not how it works. So we don't actively scan the internet. That's the misconception about it. What we do is we collect data, right? So we scrape thousands of hours of relevant video footage.
What's relevant footage? You have to know what, in other words, if you know that he was in Afghanistan for 5 years, you look at videos from Afghanistan those 5 years. What's considered relevant?
What's considered relevant? I'll give you an example. Like right now, what's going on in Colombia, okay, or in New York. We know the exact search keywords that could be fed into search engines, whether Google, DuckDuckGo, whatever it is. We know the exact photo archives online and news websites that contain these pieces of footage, and on YouTube. And we have scraping bots. So these bots are basically software systems sitting somewhere on one of our cloud virtual machines, and it's 24/7 looking for information, automatically identifying it online, collecting it, downloading it, indexing it, adding the information to the database, and making it searchable, search ready. So it's not actively searching the internet as someone might think. It's data that is being collected, processed, cleaned, inserted into a organized, searchable format, and then on the front end, the Nasher AI system allows you to search through it.
Amazing what you're doing. So this is something which is only going to grow, correct?
Yes. So so if you remember, like a few minutes ago, I told you there is what's available right now is not limited by functionality; it's limited by scale. So most of the data that we have, which is a ton of data already, is focused on the US, particularly New York, New England area, and Los Angeles, etc. This is where most of our data is collected. But there is still way more data to collect for this to be even more effective, right? So we're not limited by the tech, we're limited by the amount of data available for it in order to give the best results and guarantee that to the best of our abilities to give results.
So let me ask this question. This is
So
great technology. Can people invest with you in this? Is there opportunities?
yes, exactly. So again, the limitation right now is the scale. So we want to expand it, right? We want to expand it, and to be able to cater for it to be delivered at such a high scale, we have to get a data center. I mean, build our own small data center, buy extremely powerful servers to make the search at such a high volume of a face index searchable within a reasonable amount of time. So not only the actual technology and company office itself, etc. We also have to hire more engineers, because then we're not thinking in terms of one solution running on one virtual machine online. No, it's expanding it to something as a Kubernetes cluster, and just finding the correct pipeline for it to cater at that scale. And most importantly, Zev, collecting data, to be able to collect data from everywhere in the world, because you have no idea how many requests the people who run our social media page are getting. So basically, we're getting requests from everywhere in the world, primarily from the UK, by the way, because a lot of anti-Semitic incidents are happening over there. So UK, Australia, pretty much all around Europe, all around the world, things are anti-Semitic incidents are happening. So it's like we want to help, but we do not, we haven't collected data from there yet, right? So it's sort of like we're paralyzed at this moment from being able to help. It's like every time someone asks us for something, it takes like hours to go and scrape. And then even then, with this very small scale, we're unable to, most of the time, collect enough data that would allow us to find the people that are being searched for in these foreign countries.
Amazing what could be done with it. This is a great technology. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, you like our programs, please like and subscribe, as it helps the channel get these important conversations out there to a larger audience. So please become a supporter of Talkline with Zev Brenner by liking us, by supporting us, and telling all your friends to watch. Thank you.